Have you ever tried something like quit smoking or try to lose weight and you start and you're doing good for 1 week or two, and then next thing you know, you give up. And then maybe a month or two down the road, you start again, you're doing good for a week, and then you give up. And pretty much that's your life, right? You start something, but you just give up. Don't you hate that? I'm quite sure you'd rather be a person that sticks to a plan so you can actually see good results. Well, with Monk Mode 2.0, you can actually do just that if you follow the steps that I'm going to explain later on. I use Monk Mode 2.0 to actually make a lot of money and live the life that I want and lose a lot of weight. So let's talk about Monk Mode 2.0. But before we get to 2.0, we have to first start with Monk Mode. What is Monk Mode? Well, Monk Mode is where you actually are locked in for a period of time with no distractions. And the reason why you want to use Monk Mode as a tool is because maybe you want to live a better life. Maybe you want to gain more awareness. Maybe you want to just be smarter. Maybe you want to reduce stress, or maybe you want to just be on top of your game and make more money. And when you actually do Monk Mode, that can actually help you achieve that. Now, Monk Mode, the regular one, is usually a period of time. So usually you go in hard for maybe 21 days or 30 days or 90 days straight with no distractions. And some people take it to the extreme where they are not having sex at all, or they are not hanging out with friends. But for the most part, what you want to do is cut out most of your distractions in your life and cut out the things that's going to slow you down. So let me give you some examples. No alcohol, no social media, no looking at TV, meditate if you want to, you exercise for 20 to 30 minutes a day, no drinking coffee, things like that. And the reason why you want to cut out the distractions is because it's going to help you perform at a high level. But the problem what I found when it comes to Monk Mode is it's too intense for most people. Yes, I do understand that it's supposed to be intense, but I'm trying to help most people, and I figured out a way to actually do Monk Mode but in a different way. And we're gonna talk more about that later on. So going back to the original Monk Mode, right? It's so intense that most people can't handle it, right? So let's say they wanna do Monk Mode for 30 days or 60 days. They'll probably do it for a week or two and give up because they are going cold turkey. It's so intense in the beginning. Now let's talk about the reason why most people give up, because this is very important. The main reason why is because your subconscious mind doesn't like change at all. Your subconscious mind is always trying to get you to go back to doing bad things. For example, let's say that you're trying to lose weight, right? And this is day one, and day one you did good. Now, day two, the next day. This day you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm gonna eat good, I'm not gonna eat bad at all. And let's say you're driving down the road and you start to see maybe a McDonald's or a Burger King and you start to smell it, right? Guess what? Your subconscious mind is gonna play tricks with you. It's gonna say, you know what? Having a burger or two is not gonna hurt you. We can start over tomorrow, right? That's what your subconscious do all the time. It's always trying to get you back to doing bad things. So what is the solution to this? Monk Mode 2.0. So what's the difference between Monk Mode and Monk Mode 2.0? Monk Mode is where you are locked in for a period of time and you're trying to go hard. But Monk Mode 2.0, you actually start small and work your way up. Remember what I said, your subconscious hates to change or start new things. So one way we can actually trick our subconscious is to start small. Let me give you a good example. Let's say that you want to work out, right? And you want to start walking around the block, maybe 30 minutes a day or an hour. What you could do instead is, instead of walking for 30 minutes or an hour, okay, just go outside, walk for a minute or two, and then come back home. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna say, what are you talking about, a minute or two? Yes, because in the beginning, you're not trying to work out. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build good habits, okay? This is how you trick your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is not going to go crazy if you walk for a minute or two. But it might go crazy if you say, oh man, let me walk for an hour, right? Your subconscious might trick you and say, man, you don't need to walk today. But if you walk for a minute or two, that's nothing. So it's best to start small. And when you start small, let's say that you're doing this for 5 days a week, right? And you start small. You go Monday, walk for a minute or two. Tuesday, do the same thing, all the way to Friday. And what you're doing is you're building habits. Even if it's for a minute or two, you're building habits and you're getting used to doing the activity. A great book on this is called Atomic Habits. It talks more about this. Again, the key is to actually start small so you can actually start the thing, right? So your subconscious won't say, ew, I gotta walk for an hour? Ew, I'm not doing that, right? It will convince you not to do it. It will say, oh, you can do it tomorrow. But walking for a minute or two, your subconscious is gonna say, it's only a minute or two, I can do that. Now here's the thing. right? This is where the magic comes in. Your 2 minutes is going to turn to 5 minutes. It's going to turn to 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes is going to turn to half an hour. And that half an hour is going to turn into an hour. And you're going to do it with no problem because you are used to doing the activity. You start small and you build up. With Monk Mode 2.0, you are using one of the cheat codes of life. And that is the snowball effect. Start small, but once that snowball builds up, it's gonna build a lot of momentum, and you're gonna go faster and faster and faster. You're gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's with anything. It doesn't matter if it's losing weight, it doesn't matter if you're trying to make more money, it doesn't matter if you're trying to get good with girls, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If you start small and work your way up, you're gonna build a lot of momentum that way. Guys, you have to understand, a habit is stronger than motivation. Someone can actually motivate you, right? And it can probably last for an hour or two, or maybe a day or two. But habits, man, they can last for months, years, a lifetime. This is why you never want to depend on motivation. You want to depend on your habits. You make your habits small first, and then those small habits are going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Guys, you have to understand, if you want to be successful in this life, you have to understand that slow is fast. What do I mean? If you start slow first and you do the right things first, right, you're gonna definitely hit your goal. But if you do the opposite, that means that fast is slow. Because if you try to start fast in the beginning, like skip steps or do cold turkey or do something that's very intense, what's gonna happen is you're gonna make more mistakes. And let's say, for example, if you go slow and do the right things first, right, and you start to build momentum, let's say it takes you a year to hit your goals. But if you try to do it fast in the beginning, skip steps, make a lot of mistakes, instead of being successful in 1 year, it might take you 5 or 10 years because you're making all these mistakes and you're trying to rush. So with Monk Mode 2.0, it's all about starting small first and building that momentum, right? And you never really want to come out of Monk Mode. I'm always in Monk Mode. This is why when I really looked at the first Monk Mode, I was like why people are stopping at day 21 or day 30 or day 60. It doesn't make any sense, because if it takes a lot of energy to build that momentum, why do you want to stop that momentum? Do you want to live your best life only for 30 days? Or do you want to live your best life forever? And that's what Monk Mode 2.0 is all about. You are always in Monk Mode. Now I know some people want to say, well, how can you have a balanced life if you're always in Monk Mode? Well, I'm here to tell you guys, when it comes to success, there's no such thing as balance, okay? That's a myth. So you have to live the 80-20 rule, okay? For me, I'm a guy, that barely graduated from high school. I was living in my mom's basement. You think I had a balanced life? No, I had to grind, and grind. So the best thing to do when it comes to Monk Mode 2.0, you wanna live by the 80-20 rule, okay? So 80% you're grinding, and the rest of the 20%, you can do whatever. You hang out with friends or do whatever you want, okay? But you follow the 80-20 rule. So you can definitely take breaks here and there, but you don't wanna take long breaks. Okay, if you want to take a break, usually if I'm taking a break, it's going to be for a day or two, maybe for a week or two if I'm going on vacation, but I'm coming right back to Monk Mode. You can actually turn up the knob whenever you want to and turn it down whenever you want to. So let's say, for example, I'm in Monk Mode, right, 24/7. And let's say next month, I want to go really, really hard. Well, I can go harder. And let's say, I don't know, 2 months from now, I don't want to go that hard, but I'm still in Monk Mode, but I can actually dial it down. And this is what's going to give you the best result. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what it is. I don't care what you're trying to do. Lose weight, make money, whatever you're trying to do, guys. This way is the way. I was broke before. I know what it feels to not have money. I use Monk Mode 2.0, okay? I started small, and I start to build a lot of momentum, and boom, next thing you know, I'm doing 10 times better. So how do I usually go about my Monk Mode? So usually what I do is I go to bed early, right? I have no distractions, so I still look at my social media. So that's why I told you guys before, Monk Mode is usually so intense to the point where a lot of people give up, because they give up their social media, they give up maybe sex, they give up a lot of things. Again, you live by the 80-20 rule. So do I look at a lot of social media? No, maybe 20 or 30 minutes a day. And maybe the weekends I could probably stretch it out even longer. But I'm living by the 80-20 rule. So I'm cutting out a lot of distractions. I don't do drugs, so that's never been a problem with me. I don't smoke, I don't drink. Now, if you're doing that, guys, that's gonna slow you down. Get rid of that. Honestly, you should get rid of that, forever. Another thing I don't do, I don't really watch TV. And honestly, I'm so used to not watching TV because, when I was grinding since day one, I really didn't watch any TV. Now, when I do watch TV, it's usually when I'm eating. So if I'm sitting down eating, I catch up with my shows and I'm watching TV like that. But after I'm finished eating, I'm going back to grinding or whatever I have to do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do it this way, okay? You can look at your TV if you want to, maybe an hour a day, whatever. But remember the 80-20 rule, guys. Now, the key is, guys, you have to track, okay? So you should have a schedule. Your schedule is gonna help you get rid of all the distractions, so you know exactly 9:30, I had to do this, 10:30, I had to do that, 11 o'clock, I had to do this, right? You have your schedule in place. And number two is you can always add and subtract. So let's say you drink or whatever you do a lot, right? And you notice that that's slowing you down or it's a distraction. What you can do is you can say, you know what? I'm only gonna do that thing for once a week, okay? And that's what you can do. You can dial it down or you can actually cut it off completely. So your list could be either you're adding or subtracting or dialing down or dialing up. But at the end of the day, what you want is you want all the distractions out your life, okay, that's gonna hurt you. And you just want to focus on your schedule so you can actually perform at a high level. Guys, listen, Monk Mode 2.0 changed my life. I use it to make a lot of money. I use it to lose a lot of weight. Okay, we're gonna talk about that in another video, but I lost a lot of weight, okay? And what happened was I started small. So in the beginning, I only worked out 2 times a week. So let's say I worked out Monday and Thursday, and then I got used to that. And then guess what? I started to work out 3 times a week, okay? And then 4 times a week. Now 5 to 6 times a week, and sometimes even 2 times a day, okay? So I will work out in the morning, and then in the afternoon, okay, I will work out again. And that's because I started small. Right? I got used to the activity, and next thing you know, boom, I'm doing this every single day. So guys, listen, the original Monk Mode, in my opinion, is very tough. Most people can't do it, but anything you start new is gonna have some type of pain, okay? So what you rather do? You rather, have no pain in your life and not start at all, and 30 years, later or 40 years later, you're gonna have so much regret, okay? Like, man, well, how come I ain't start, okay? Or you wanna start now. Okay, and the best thing to do if you want to start now, to me, is Monk Mode 2.0, where you start small, because when you start, it's like, it's nothing, right? It's nothing. You can start right away because you're not thinking too hard about it. So it's time to get to work. It's time to change your life. And if you want to learn how to make money and gain confidence, make sure you watch this video right here, because it's going to show you why you need to gain confidence and how to gain confidence.